Hello, Editor Lilia here, giving credit for the music that is used. Alzheim's music is Elmsmore by Justin Bell. Then there is Etheria, whose music is Epic Dwarf Music, Dwarven Kingdom, RPG Majestic Heroic, 1 hour, by Fantasy and Dark Music by Derek Fletcher. Then we have Sheol, Arabian Music, City by the Sea, Ambient Arabian Desert Music by Soul Candle. And finally, we have Solartho, which is D&D Ambiance, Frozen Tundra, Winds, Boreal Colds, Arctic, by Michael Gelfi, RPG Ambiance Music.
The four corners of Lilia are four magical geographic locations, split from one another from the Battle of the Gods millennia ago. The once whole continent, previously known as Visarun, has separated into four distinct areas. Starting off with Alzheim, the eastern continent of the Glades, teeming with magic from the Feywild, thus creating an everlasting temperate area, whether it be the dense forests or the rolling plains. Alzheim is a fresh and green area thriving with nature and wildlife. It was also the only area that did not have direct combat from the battle between the gods, leaving the landscape flourishing and prosperous. Alzheim was maintained this way due to the prime deities reserving this section of land from the betrayers. Deities such as Melora, Pelor, Erathis, and Bahamut, who used this location to preserve the remaining elements of civilization. The origin of the elves who inhabit this area are now predominantly wood elves, as well as other races such as forest gnomes, halflings, and humans. The original civilization of high elves, known as Shigai Ato, went back to the Feywild after the Shattering to ensure security for themselves and their city. The variety of towns and villages around Alzheim use the natural resources of the land, such as the abundant crops for farming. Some exceptions, of course, include the Punkertown, known as the Rippers. The central city of Alzheim is that of Ostirian, a living city mingled with plant matter and grand civilization, symbolizing the unity that Melora and Erathis share. Ostirian is also the home of two colleges of magic, enchantment and conjuration, this school deemed Onta Tura, or Elven for creation and control. Next is Etheria, the western continent of the Edges. The scarred and jagged landscape is a result of the war among the gods. Below the scarred surface is full of materials, supplying the world with their economy, being the copper, silver, and gold in everyone's pockets. This scarred landscape has also cultivated the attention of seeking the wondrous metals of adamantine and mithril. The battle between deities left ravines and cliffs behind, in the all-too-common earthquake or rockslide. The main attraction of Etheria is a city the last of its kind, a magnificent white mountain named Termgother, flipped upside down with the rather simply named city of Alabaster settling on top, brimming with dwarves, rock gnomes, and high elves, and, as always, the humans. This city is known for its blacksmithing, enchanting, craftsmanship, and, of course, its greed. The city features architecture from the surface of the mountain, which vary between the cultures of dwarves and high elves, to the more rugged and dangerous lifestyles of the scaffolding districts, or those who build on the outside of the mountain and bore in from there. There is a second portion of the city, found in the crater where Termgother once stood. This is known as a mining center of Etheria. The cities outside of Alabaster are mining towns or farming for the rare areas where soil is well to grow crops, but also led to the very first Punkertowns, which dot the landscape. The raised portion of Alabaster is home to its own colleges of magic, evocation and transmutation, these colleges being called Inseg and Veranda, respectively. Moving on to Sheol, the southern continent of the Barrens, a landscape of rolling dunes and of blazing sun. The sands of Sheol are an area of illusion and magic, the desert being cursed with magic that makes it so that the traveler is forever lost in its dunes, taking away a sense of direction and time, unless granted with a charm of passage, a blue dragon scale with a bronze rune, allowing a sense of general direction. Sheol is dotted with ruins that seem to appear and disappear from years and years prior. Temples for the gods, abandoned villages, or unknown ruins. The barrier between the planes is also weakened throughout the landscape at night. The slippage of the ethereal plane in the Shadowfell, causing the dunes to be laced full of spirits or undead in the cold nights, disappearing before dawn. The few towns and villages that can survive this harsh climate are known as trading posts and are places full of artisanship. Then there is the mirage city of Madkal, a port city that was built upon the remains and defeat of an ancient blue dragon named Marux. The now brimming city is full of many races, dragonborn, humans, half-elves, tabaxi, and a place where tieflings may finally feel at home. The city is based on trade and has no real noble society. However, Madkal, due to its large size, has its own fair share of crime, leaving behind a thriving criminal underground of smugglers, assassins, and thieves, which more often than not seeps its way into the other neighboring cities. The city is home to 2 more colleges of magic, put into a single building with studies of abjuration and illusion magic. This college is named Treois, or Draconic for illusion and dream. Finally, Sulertho, the frost of the north, a frozen tundra where ice and snow are the features of the land, and what lies underneath said ice and snow is unknown and revered. The large area is home to predominantly humans and snow elves in the more civilized culture, and is also home to bands of Goliath or orc raiding parties that stay near the mountains and forests deep in the everlasting frost. There is a central city by the name of Diamant, or Sulerthan for diamond. The city is a dull and restrictive society, built upon by a group of nobles whose families are the founders of their particular practices or organizations in the city. Diamant is also the central religious center in Lilia, holding massive temples for deities such as the Raven Queen, the Lady of Fates, Cord, the Storm Lord, Melora, the Wild Mother, Pelor, the Dawn Father, Sehenin, the Moonweaver, and Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. Humans are seen as lesser by snow elves and are referred to as simple servants or peasants, and reside in the inner districts of the city. There are 7 districts, the first being home to the majority of humans and is the slums of Diamant, home to the temples of the Raven Queen and Cord, where the military force of Cord Zealot is formed. The second district is the agricultural ring, being home to the temples of Melora and Pelor. Third is a smithing and industrial district, home to the temples of Arathis and Moradin. The fourth ring is home to the human traders and merchants. The fifth ring is home to the frosted plains of Diamant, where the Platinum Battalion holds training exercises with the wildlife loose in this district, and where Cord Zealot runs the city's Colosseum. The 6th district is home to the only college of magic inside the city, based on the study of divination magic, and is also the central temple of Corellian, the goddess of magic and the arts, the school being called Levant. This ring is also the first district of Snow Elves. The 7th district is home to the higher nobles of the Snow Elven Society, being the 13 houses of Sulertho, and home to the Temple of the Moonweaver. Finally, the 8th district is home to the Platinum Cathedral of Bahamut, which has a very powerful military force, known as the Platinum Battalion, as well as the first 2 founding families of Diamant, including the Snow Elven Pravalt family, the family of Tsar Alexei Pravalt of the Frost Throne, and the human Nid Kobo family, including Susanna Nid Kobo, the veiled mistress of the Raven Queen.